All right, welcome back to the 80 Star Basketball Channel, the only star basketball channel that went to the National. I guarantee you that. The only one. And I got back home late, about midnight last night, and so I'm pretty tired. I kind of didn't even know where to begin. So just such a gosh, the same thing. I that a lot of I've heard other content creators say absolutely was overwhelming, a blast. I wish I could have met everyone, but I did meet so many of you, and a lot of conversations. So it was just a total experience, life experience that was wonderful. And this episode, I'm going to give you kind of the scoop on some bags, and I'll be talking about that and other follow up videos, as well as kind of following up some great stuff with the shop at home. So I have basically follow up videos for those last two videos. However, I'm going to be really focusing kind of at the national. This is going to be a little less star focused and just what I found interesting, and just kind of from a personal perspective. I'm going to show a lot of interesting pictures of stuff that I saw that was really, really cool and rare, and my odd pickups that weren't star. So again, I'm a little hesitant to share like my pickups and stuff, but just because I don't want to really sway anyone buying one way or another. You should collect what you should collect. I talk about what's hot and everything, but at the end of the day, I love rare stuff, and at the end of the day, I also do collect kind of random non-sports cards. I've been a sports card, basketball card collector since '88, but I dabble in some of the fun, side of non-sports too, but very, very little. But I did some pickups, so I thought you'd find interesting, but just some really cool visuals. So, I'll kind of started off with obviously the 101 got front cover love for SCD on the cover. And one major theme I did notice, I do want to tell you the overall vibe, and I know I'm completely biased, but I did not get this vibe before anywhere else, even at Burbank. A huge star and an especially 101 vibe going. And I was telling this to people as I was running into you from the groups, that it was a lot of younger people, and I didn't have to be saying anything. They were readily engaged. If there was a star card, they were looking about it, they were talking about it, they were interested in a bunch of different tables. So it was really cool to see that the kind of the younger generation, and I have got a pic of that. Kind of was involved in how the perception has changed in the last year. This picture would not have been on the cover a couple years ago, and it's just good to see that people are now, with the perception change in the hobby, that it's just cool to see how things are changing. That the 101 being called the true rookie card, and it's just good to see what's happening there. So here's me, obviously about to go in. And this was Saturday. I went 2 days. I went all of Wednesday, which was beyond madness, and Saturday, which actually I thought was a little less than Wednesday, but they were both absolutely mobbed. I think it was less on Saturday, which is supposed to be the busiest day, simply because of how well they handled it. They basically let you all in early, and they got you wristbands outside, so they made the entry super easy. This was a really well run show. That much I could tell, and they adapted to the onslaught of people. Obviously, going to be the biggest that they've ever had. And this is the same lobby that if you got almost run over by a lady with a cart screaming, "Out of the way, move it," you know what I'm talking about if you were there. That lady was out for blood, I think. It was funny. Anyway, I knew it was going to be a good show when I was standing to get something to eat, and this guy shows up. That hat was just absolutely impeccable. Love the horns on it. But this was me and my wife. This was kind of a dual trip for me. Also, that my wife, who has a travel blog, she really I was kind of taken up with a lot of time doing stuff for her, And so I didn't get, that was one thing. There was a lot of people I didn't come in contact with because I didn't know my times exactly for how things were going to work. So, I essentially had to kind of I had so many things scheduled Wednesday that it really turned into almost just more business for me on Wednesday and not buying or anything. And really just talking to people and about Star, trying to get some things moving and, not anything as far as collecting and whatnot. So speaking of youth, I know some of you guys don't like this guy, and a lot of you guys like him, from Roth Cards, and uh, the one thing about him is he did say it in a video. He picked up an 86 Fleer, but he said, but I'm getting an 86 Fleer, but I think the true rookie is the 101. So he was right next to me, and then I asked him to get a pick, and we got a pick together, and he was like, oh, absolutely, the 101 is the true rookie card. So again, that kind of perception change, and he's one of the guys, whether you like him or not, this is one of those guys. It's not about one person. People like focus on single events. It's about multiple events happening, like that SCD cover, and people like Roth, from Roth Cards, that appeal to a lot of the younger folks. And talking, they when they say things like this, it matters. That's the big stuff right there. So another cool one that I saw was the I believe this is the '07, for the dual logo man auto of Kobe and Jordan. They put an estimated value up on Heritage at $6 million for this card. Yeah, it was incredible to see in person. So I thought that was cool. And I forgot what was on all these picks, so I'm gonna, as I go through, I'm just gonna talk to them. But that was something I thought was kind of cool. First appearance of Spider-Man. I know for the Star Channel, I just wanted to show some things that I thought was really, really cool, neat, or interesting. Because I know you guys collect, a lot of you guys collect other stuff too. So I was a comic book collector when I was young. Hulk 340 is still my favorite comic, but I had all the Wolverines, everything. Never could get the Hulk 181, so I'm gonna probably have to do that at some point. But obviously the 195 is up, but that PSA 8 that I believe last I heard was at 67, so K. So this one's obviously really, really nice, but breaking records. And again, the vibe around the 101 and Star was huge. People really looking for that card. So I saw a few that are going to be going up in auctions. They were previewing. So there's going to be some upcoming auctions. I know Wheatland, I believe they had a nice, I can't remember if, which one they have, but Wheatland, Leland's, there's going to be a few kind of obscure auction houses that have them, and that's the place to pick up your best deals because a lot of people don't go to those. So the bidding isn't high. You put something on eBay, it's got a lot of eyes, but some of those other auction houses, they don't. This was another one of my little pickups. I picked up just a 61 Fleer wrapper, and I thought that was cool. And I was able to pick up an 88 Fleer wax box. This is because from my childhood, this was the year I started collecting. And I ran into Adam at Indie Card Exchange, and it was cool. We talked about the 101. I'll show you his picture that he gave me. But, obviously he owns a bunch of them, and he did that video from Mojo Sports Cards. Saw him with the how he turned 500 into $3 million. And really he was focusing a lot on Star and Jordan, but Star, he said, it's the absolute true rookie card. And we talked about that for a while, but that was really, really cool. So on the subject of wax, just cool pictures that I found, this guy's display of wax, and he ended up giving me his story. This was just one of all the sports cards and everything, but he got these because he knew the guy who was who actually had a drugstore for, I forgot how many years he said, but an umpteenth billion amount of years, that it was essentially like he had tons and tons of, he would sell all it, and like he would keep one pack after a lot of the boxes wouldn't sell and no one wanted the new. So the guy just kept hoarding packs over the years, and eventually ended up with a massive collection. And part of that collection was obviously this 57 Topps pack, still sealed. I got to take a look at it, but the asking price for this was $100,000 for this. But even the bigger deal, he didn't give me a price on this, but this is the holy grail of essentially a basketball wax. Is the Topps test, the 1968 Topps test. Actually, it has a Chamberlain inside of it, so just really really cool. But these are basically impossible to get. So I just thought that it's kind of another picture of it, but just really really amazing stuff that you see at the National. Oh, and he was asking, I believe it was 10,000. He had two 1961 Fleer packs that he was asking 10,000 a piece on. But obviously, just really, really impressive stuff. And one thing on the theme, and to show you one of the things that was rather amazing there was Batman. They had the original costumes from the TV show, and it was so cool to see. I was just like, wow. You never get to see that kind of stuff that, for having, and I'm trying to find another picture in the background. I thought I had it, and there it is right here. The Just stuff like this, Adam West's, Batman costume, and they had the Robin outfit, and it was really worn. But they had Penguin and Joker, as I just showed you. Just this stuff was so cool to see, like in person, like obviously kind of growing up and watching. So with that, I ended up with a little bit of fun FOMO, and I went out, and a guy was telling me, guy said, I was like looking at non-sports. I always buy little wax packs of the stuff from when I was really little. There's things that came out like the A Team and stuff. So I'll get a pack, and I have a collection of non-sports packs. And the guy said, "This is it. Most people don't know, but this is the Batman rookie card." I thought that was funny. But he said this is going to be the equivalent of the 52 mantle. He just said they're so cheap right now, but it's number one. That's the first card of Batman. So from 1966 Topps. So if you like stuff and are interested in a little bit of the stuff, go check it out. But he told me that this is going to be the card, and whether or not that happens, I don't care. It was just how his excitement kind of after I went and saw these, I just was sorry, back up. After I saw these, I was just like, okay, why not? Just a little fun pickup. So let me actually start to close a few of these. And then, so I did want to show these off. These were amazing. This artist had a huge section kind of in the middle of the show, and for his artwork. And he did these custom cards too, and he sold out. So I found this really, really awesome. He did artwork like this, just huge pieces, but it's 3D. Like this jersey is coming out of the picture. It is amazing. I can't even stress enough. But the only one, there was a few at the beginning when I saw it. There was almost none that had sold except for the 101. So I thought that was really cool. He has all types of different sports cards, all sorts of everything. But the 101 was like one of the first ones to sell. And he did a couple again, and he sold out of all his smaller ones. There were 500 to 1,000 a piece for the original, but he did sell out of everything. And I don't know if he sold this other. He had two. I don't know if he sold this copy, but just really really cool artwork of the 101 and Jordan. And that's Adam's thing. I might have to go over. So I'm trying to keep this as short as I can. So again, I did meet Adam from IndyCard Exchange. He did. That is his license plate. I thought that was so cool. Star 101. So we ended up talking a long time. He noticed my 88 wax box that I was carrying around. He was like, it was cool. It was like, cool box. And he said that was his first year, and he's got one in his PC as well. And what's cool is you can tell behind all this, you can see some of the 101s he had. I almost picked up that 288. I was going to, but I was kind of pushed for time, and I was like, okay, I'll come back and talk about it, and I never did. But I thought that was just so cool that he has that on his license plate. He showed me some other pictures with him and Dave with all their 101s from prior. But and I did meet up with Blaine, and here's Blaine and Steve Taft just talking. Blaine kind of showing him some of the product, and right here Here's some of the bags. As far as bags, I'm going to be doing a follow up, and the product. Both Taft and I were impressed. So this, as far as, and especially for bang for buck, at $30 a pop, this is what you're getting. He gives you a really nice case. I believe DGA is going to be doing these cases custom, but per card at $30 a pop. You shake it, the bag doesn't move, and the plastic is all laid out like it's just done really, really well, very durable. So essentially, a really, really nice case. He's also doing dual grade as far as like a bag grade and card grades, and Steve and I both are kind of in the agreement that it would be really good to have dual grading for these bags. But I thought it was really, really cool that was able to have me, Blaine, and Steve chat about it for a few minutes. So I thought that was cool, and you can see Steve's stuff right here. But it was good to talk to Steve, and I did talk to a few other folks. Back to my actually, because I love this picture and I'll be able to have it here. I did actually kind of quasi interview Mike Higbee, and Higbee was one of the. So Bill Shonchek had bought the kind of, I want to say, bankruptcy auction from Robert Levin, and Higbee worked for him. So it was kind of interesting. I was looking at all of Higbee's stuff when I first came up there, and he has one of an 85 uncut sheet with the second year Jordan on it and the 10 card set and everything. And he had it for 100,000. So I did notice the uncut sheet, and he had things in bulk, bulk items I've never seen before. And he said he hadn't taken them out in 20 plus years out of storage. I didn't get pictures because, to be honest, I didn't. I was kind of about to, and I was looking at the stuff at first, but then his team actually noticed me, and they came up and they put my channel like in my face. It was kind of cool. They were like, "So, have you seen this? Get this on your channel?" And then I ended up asking for to talk to him, and we ended up chatting, and he gave me some history of Star. He did say one of the things he read. I asked him about the Moncrief, and he did say that Moncrief is incredibly rare. So he's of the opinion there aren't a stash of them. And we talked about other stuff that I'll probably mention in follow-up episodes, because I don't want to keep this one too long. But it was good to see so many of you, and from Ding Coiners to Mike Baker at the end of here's kind of a bigger announcement that Mike Baker is going to be doing bags. And there is a timeline for later, but it's on the short to midterm horizon, but not too far off. He doesn't want to commit to any timetables as of right now, but he wants to get feedback to how to get it done right. So he's looking for feedback too, just like DGA was. And I'll be meeting with Mike again, and we'll be doing a kind of a bring him on, and he wants to talk about them, and we'll be talking about process of how he's going to be grading those and what the price points and everything will look like. So he's definitely going to be entering the field, but DGA is going to have a good looks like at least a 3-month head start. And I don't know, one of the big differences might be the price point. It might be because DGA's bag is look like quality. They're offering some pretty high quality at a really low price. So I know that sounds like a sales pitch, but it really isn't. And again, Taft was impressed as well, and so is Don, who got some of the bags. And if you're basically impressing all three of us, I'm trying to tell you something's good. So there's going to be some more submissions to him and more follow up there. But so as far as meeting all of you, and again, the people that I wasn't, couldn't meet or couldn't text or message, I'll be at the National again. So we will definitely do a follow up, and I'm hoping to see some of you out at Burbank. So maybe you guys can come on out to my side of the pond. So we'll definitely do follow up if that happens. But anyway, that was my experience in the National and what I wanted to show you guys, and I will see you at the next video.